Good morning, gorgeous. Recently, I made a video about running the same 1.5 track to different musical genres that my friends picked on Instagram. If you haven't seen that video, check it out right here. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun experiment. And I thought, how fun would it be to do the same aerial combo to different musical genres or musical picks? So I picked a sequence and I asked my fellow friends on Instagram to give me a song pick. I didn't tell them why. It was completely random and I got some random ones in there. And I took those songs and I made a sequence with it. And so the way I did that was I put all of those songs by name, threw them in a Spotify playlist, and I did not listen to them. And a lot of them I had never heard before. And then I found a sequence, picked this sequence, and it really spoke to me because it was both strength-based and kind of focused a little bit on fluidity. There was enough going on. It was something new and a new way of putting it together, which I'd never tried. My entrance could be a little bit different for each of them. And it was something that I definitely thought could be manipulated, but not so much that it's just a bunch of random one-off moves. It's definitely a combo. And so I thought it would be interesting to just see how it translated to different music. And so I went to the Aerial studio and I practiced the combo until I got it down packed, which took me about 2 or 3 tries just to make sure that I got the transitions properly. And then I turned on my camera and I pressed play on the Spotify playlist, and I wanted to just see how they compared to each other. So I haven't watched the videos at all, and so I'm also going to be giving my commentary as we're watching them to see what I think and how they compare and which I like the most or which surprised me, and we're going to just see how this goes. So before we get into that, if you like this video, it helps me hugely if you hit that like button, helps me more if you subscribe, and I would love it if you would comment down below what your favorite performance is that you're about to see. Again, I'm not the most graceful, but at least it's kind of fun to watch anyone do aerial, I think, and I'm always watching other people do aerials. So if you like any of these, please comment down below. It really does help me. And anyway, let's get into it. Hi gorgeous, Review Lauren here, and I'm excited to watch all these all the way through. Before we get started, I wanted to give an extra thank you to Lauren Kehl. She's the one that came up with this sequence. I found her over on Instagram. She was very, very kind in letting me use her footage and use her combo as reference in this. So please give her a follow over on Instagram at Lauren Kehl, Kehl. And while you're over there, might as well give me a follow at the Aerial Piper. Shameless plug. Anyway, I guess we should start watching these, right? So watching this, I can definitely tell it was the first song in my giant repertoire to get through because the beauty roll didn't seem quite as difficult as I'm guessing how it looks at the end of the video. I felt like I was okay, but the sequence didn't seem to pair as well as I hoped. I feel like I need a strobe light or something to really make this work, to make it feel as intense as I intended it to feel. I will say that although it looks like dramatic flair, when I was re-gripping my hands before the beauty roll, you could definitely tell there's a little whoop fluster in getting it. Like, I almost forgot what I was supposed to be doing. But overall, I liked the song. I actually like screamo and alternative and things like that. That dark, moody feel can make some really, really creative and powerful pieces. And I wish I was that cool looking. I think this would be interesting, especially if you were in a dark lit kind of environment and really had that almost as a theme. You do have this dun 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 going on. With aerial, it's like either you have to spin that fast or you have to just hold. And with this sort of combo, maybe it wasn't the right combo for this, it was like the movements weren't dramatic enough to really lead into that sort of intensity. Overall, not as bad as I thought it would be for only doing it once. Okay, obviously I really like that song, so I didn't realize that song was the one picked until it started playing, and then I got really excited because I really liked it, and which is why I ended up starting really that combo in the middle, because I was dancing on my way over. And no, I will not show you that footage. No one needs to see that. But I actually really do like this song. I do almost wish I had a little bit more fun, like kind of bouncy movements. That does tend to be more my style, because if you're bouncing around enough like Harley Quinn, then people don't realize that you're awkward. I tried to do something with my arm at the end. I don't think it worked, but again, you know, what can you do? Like I said, I really, really like this song. I do think it would be really fun for aerial. I think that if I could go back and do this again and actually like plan it out to this song, I think that would be really, really neat. I think the tempo is kind of perfect because it gives you enough lag time between your downbeats. Dun, dun, da, 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 pose, da, da, right? So you could hit different things and you can move in between, and you can hit those really hard, and that's really helpful when you're trying to plan a piece out. You know, my performance, not as good. I actually think that the first one was slightly better. All right, next one. Okay, awesome. I don't know why that song. I definitely was obsessed with Dance Dance Revolution, especially in like elementary school and middle school. So yeah, this brought back some serious memories. So walking up, I definitely was like, well, I guess we're going for it, and we're spinning. And luckily I was able to get my spin up pretty quickly. It kept up pretty well. I will say that I hit that Amazon right at the right time, which made me very happy. So I was like, oh, okay, like, hey, that didn't suck quite as bad as I thought. The song is so jumpy and so upbeat that you kind of get into that and you're like, oh yeah, she's doing a thing. But in reality, like, I'm just as sloppy. But again, if you speed things up enough, like, kind of hide your mistakes. The tempo is a little intimidating, especially for aerial. I think that would be the one hindrance, because you almost have to think about where you can pause, because the instinct is just to go. I mean, if you were trying to run to this song, you would like waste all of your energy in the first 30 seconds. And also, when you have that much spin, making sure that, one, you're not losing that spin, but two, you have to kind of watch your head, because if your head drops, then all of a sudden the center of gravity for your head is no longer in the center of your body, and then it can kind of make you dizzy. You know, I got up there and you can see my head go down, and I was like, uh-oh, and so I had to like try and pop it back up, which luckily I did. But like, sometimes you'll get into a pose, and if your head tilts, it's like, oh, well, I guess it's staying there until the spin goes away. Like, it does make it a little more difficult to perform. But overall, I think it wasn't so bad. I think this is probably my best one so far, so.
The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Blue as the sky, sunburnt and lonely, sipping tea in the bar by the roadside. Don't you let those other boys fool. Gotta love that afro head.
This just proves to you that I didn't listen to any of the songs beforehand to get an idea of them, which I only knew about half of them, and I was trying not to pay attention to which ones I was adding to this playlist. So luckily, they were all sort of a surprise. I will also say that by this point, I had done the beauty roll and everything on the same side, on the same leg, hooking the same knee. So you can tell that I'm struggling a little bit more because my quad's starting to lock up as I'm rolling over it. But, you know, we make it work, right? I do think the song would be good for someone who's really good at flow in aerial. It's different. It's kind of in between upbeat and slow. And so you can be fluid or not. If someone else had a little more time, they would probably perfect it really well. I don't think it's the right one for me because I feel like I get imposter syndrome really bad because I'm not Miss Grace. You know how, don't start caring. That's definitely not my thing. And so I think that me trying to do this, I'd be like, I'm just epically failing left and right trying to extend, and it's something I need to practice. But yeah, that's not my thing. I've never felt pretty. That's why I like pictures, because then you can't prove anything. Overall, I think that my performance was not so bad. I feel like I'm a bar or two behind, like I'm confused. What's happening? Like, I would have been more bouncy had I known when that was happening. I would have been more fluid when I knew that was happening, but because the song generally took me by surprise, made it a little more difficult. But overall, it was okay. I still think I like the Dance Dance Revolution one a little better. But, okay.
Even after all the murdering, even after all your suffering, so you know I love you so. You know I love you so and so. Even after all. I'll let you go on, sir. It's the order of the day. And all that you believe, sir, is the order in this society. You know I love you so. You know I love you so and so. Even after all.
is my answer, because I actually think performance-wise I like this one the most in sections. I do like my little spin, sit. I wish I had held the one hand while I was in the knee hang a little longer. I feel like that's a consistent thing. I like my little like lift with my head. I don't like the little lean back that I did. I was trying to add some flair and fluidity, and I think either I would need to fully commit to that and lean back more. My foot got stuck getting out, which I think I tried to turn into a pose, which wasn't so bad had I, again, fully committed to it, but I didn't. Fluidity-wise, this is probably one of the most solid. If you removed those little pieces, the regripping of the hands and things like that. I do like this song a lot. I think that this is one of those like low blue light music that kind of, you know, where you're in your own little zone. I feel like I'm talking about like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Soul, but when he like goes off into his like own little thing, that's what I feel like this song is perfect for. By the way, did you know that the guy who did the music for that is Trent Reznor, as in Nine Inch Nails, which like is amazing, and he won a bunch of awards for it so far and like did a fantastic job, but like I cracked up when I found that out. Overall, I think it turned out well. Like I actually like that. I'm trying to think if I like this one or the Dance Dance Revolution better. I actually think maybe I think they're kind of neck and neck for me right now. So on to the next one.
I can serenade and gently on your heartstrings, be your Valentino just ooh, lover boy, what to do tonight? Hey boy, set my alarm, turn on my charm. That's because I'm a good old-fashioned lover boy. Ooh, let me feel your heartbeat grow faster, faster. Can you feel my love heat? You wanna see my heart seed of love? Tell me how do you feel right after all? I'd like for you and I to go romantic. Say the word, your wishes might command. Ooh, lover boy, what a hit tonight. Hey boy, write my letter, feel much better, use my fancy.
Okay, I'm just going to preface this one. I hate the Beatles. I've always hated the Beatles. I'm just not a fan. That being said, I really liked how this turned out. I think it's because it's just upbeat enough that I found some bounce. Like I guess I was into it at this point. I'm not sure. You can definitely feel that beat. And again, that strong beat is so great when you want to have that little motion. So like I had my little, I love this. I had that little butt bounce, my little, you know, so it's like, you know, I sat down and hit, hey boy, and like I thought that was really neat. Like that would be something I would want to try to do in a performance or try to remember to do. I do think I wish I had a little more spin, because then if you, by the time you get up and you go faster, I think that would have been a nice touch. Like I got some like fun little kicks in there, and I actually got my legs all the way back over in one swoop, which normally I do, but at this point I was just so tired. But then like even still I was kind of turning that into part of the dance. I do think that it's a fun song for Aerial. I do think that the tempo is good for it. I actually really like my performance, despite the fact that I hate the Beatles. I don't think you would ever know. So I think this might be my favorite. This is so weird to me. Overall, I think this was a super fun experiment. I actually pieced some of them together just to see like how they ended up looking all in a row. And they're all sorts of different tempos, different things happen at different times, some intentional and some not so intentional. And then I actually took them and I lined them up right so they were at the same time when I drop into that ankle hang. And I think it's kind of interesting of when things moved on and when they didn't, and how long I held or didn't. And again, I think some of my performance aesthetic could definitely use improvement, but again, it was just kind of a fun experiment, and I actually liked quite a few of these more than I thought I would. I think my all-time favorite is probably the Beatles, which is weird to me. that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. I really enjoyed doing this challenge, although I did end up with a pretty gnarly bruise on the back of my knee from hucking it so many times. And I definitely think it's a way that you can discover new music and new styles of performance, which is always something I want to work on. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye.